Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be analysing a game from Lourlo where he's playing Camille vs Lissandra. This replay will be a little bit different from all our other videos because it's more going to be about what not to do since Lourlo plays the lane really bad. Now we know Lourlo is a great player and everyone has rough games, but it's when things go wrong that we can most easily see what to do differently. Anyways, let's get into analysis. Camille is an AD bruiser versus Lissandra, an AP control mage. Lissandra has more wave clear, more poke, and more damage in burst trades, where Camille wins in extended trades. We've seen plenty matchups like this recently, with ranged top laners being really popular right now. So you should know what Camille's game plan is going to be. But just in case you don't, Mission 1, let the wave push. Pushing early can lead to Lissandra freezing with her wave clear advantage, which is what we don't want. Mission 2, stay healthy. Camille needs to pick CS wisely, so she has enough health to trade later. And Mission 3, look for extended trades. Once the lane is pushed far enough, Camille wants to look for all-ins when Lissandra has a long way to get to her tower. Alright, let's get into the gameplay. As the lane starts, Lourlo pulls the minions then walks into the brush. What this does is, it makes the wave push to him since it stalls the wave for the even minion rule. This trick is great for ranged top matchups where you want them to push, so this will be really good for Lissandra to do here. Lourlo doing it doesn't really make sense because it's a range versus melee matchup. The wave is going to push to him anyways. And after he does it, he starts autoing minions to push, so I'm not sure what he was thinking. Either way, he fails mission 1 here since the wave is pushing to Lissandra. He gets some W poke in, but takes a ton of harass himself when going for CS. Also, we see Lee Sin at top scuttle with only red buff. After taking scuttle, he invades Lourlo's blue, meaning he's vertical jungling and the map is going to be split. This puts Lourlo in an even worse spot since his lane is pushing. After killing a few minions, Lourlo hits level 2 and goes in attempting an extended trade. He gets some nice damage, but Lissandra has her tower there, so he can't continue the chase. Lissandra returns damage with her range to even out the trade. So now Lourlo has really low health, the wave is pushing to Lissandra, so if he bases he loses a lot, and Lee is topside, so him staying in lane is going to lead to certain death. The lane is just really messed up right now from him pushing level 1. He goes back to CSing and Lee shows up for a gank. Lissandra flashes in and snares Lourlo, and Lee finishes him off for an easy first blood. Alright, so before going any further, in just 1 minute of gameplay, we can see how going into the game without a game plan can completely throw your lane, even for a pro player. Let's do a small recap of why it's so bad to push for ranged champions like this. 1. You take a ton of harass while doing it. 2. They can freeze the wave preventing you from taking the extended trades you want because they have the tower right behind them. And 3. You're vulnerable to ganks the whole time with no benefit. Alright, let's keep going and see if Lourlo can adapt to the situation. After he dies, the wave is pushing to Lissandra, but Lee Sin hard trolls here by killing these minions. The reason for that is, since the wave is pushing to Lissandra, if Lourlo doesn't TP, the wave will kill all of Lissandra's minions, denying Lourlo a ton of CS. So Lee could literally just sit in the brush and wait for him to TP. But since he killed the minions and got it pushing towards Lourlo again, Lourlo is safe to TP back. Lourlo was aware that could happen though, and TPs to the canyon minion back here to prevent the cheese, then wards the river brush. Lourlo's going to play back now, not autoing and trying to let the wave push for mission 1. He goes for these range minions looking for harass at the same time with his W, but this wasn't played too optimally. Whenever you're playing a champion that has any kind of heal, like Camille W or Vlad Q, you don't want to use the heal when you have full health. You want to let them hit you first, then use the heal to take advantage of the sustain. Lourlo uses his W when he's full HP, then Lissandra harasses him. This seems small, but it's actually a really big deal against ranged champions especially. After that, he goes for a lot of autos on this cannon minion and takes a lot of harass for it. I honestly have no clue what he's doing. This is a perfect example of what not to do for mission 2. These autos on the cannon do nothing for him here, and he takes autos in Lissandra Q harass for it. Then Lourlo walks up for some W harass, with Lissandra using her W way too early. Lourlo noticed this though and goes in for an extended trade for mission 3. Lissandra makes some questionable movement here walking into him, and Lourlo starts to back off. I think Lissandra's movement made him think Lee was here, but Lee is on the map bot side, so I'm not sure. Lourlo tries to re-engage with his E, but Lissandra uses her own E to dodge it. So both of them misplayed really hard here. Lissandra could have easily killed Lourlo or got him to flash, but she used her W really early, giving Lourlo the window to go in. Then Lourlo could have autoed her to death or just won the trade harder, but he backed away thinking Lee was there because he wasn't looking at the minimap. If Lissandra just held her W for when Lourlo E's in, she could root him, then run him down with her slows, autos, and her own E. It's just really bad gameplay from both of them. After that, Lissandra recalls and TPs back to lane with full health, which pushed Lourlo back in a bad position. He doesn't have TP and only has one potion left. He uses W on Lissandra as soon as her TP is done to get some health back, then grabs these CS right in front of her. Lissandra could have punished this super hard with constant autos, but she plays too scared. I think she thought the jungler was near with Camille walking up like that. Lourlo goes back to trying to push again, grabbing CS, poking with W. He takes a lot of harass from it though, not learning from what happened earlier. He walks up the trade, takes a lot of harass again, and now has 15% health, so he slingshots away and takes a recall. When he gets back to lane, the big wave that was on his tower is basically already dead, putting him further behind. He could have easily prevented this, and here's how. Let's rewind back to this point. Lissandra just TP'd back to lane with full health and more items. As soon as that happens, Lourlo needs to be thinking about how he's going to recall soon. Right here is the perfect time because the next wave isn't here yet. Lissandra can't clear these 4 minions fast enough to crash the wave, so Lourlo could reset and be back as the wave is crashing. But he got greedy and took a ton of harass, which telegraphed his recall really hard. Anyways, going back to present game, Lourlo's jungler is here for a gank, so Lourlo goes in with hookshot, forcing Lissandra to E away, but Echo lands a nice stun, grabbing the kill. This was just super greedy from Lissandra. After she forced Lourlo to leave lane, she should have shoved the wave in and recalled since she should have got a nice lead that way. But she stayed for whatever reason and dies for it. This is really good for Lourlo because of the wave state right now. It's pushing to Lourlo so Lissandra will be down a lot of CS. Lourlo keeps it frozen for a while, but the freeze breaks as Lissandra gets back to lane. Alright, let's test your top lane game knowledge. If you were Lissandra here, what is your thought process right now? What should you do in these next 30 seconds? This seems like a broad question, but there really is only one right answer. The wave is pushing to Lissandra, and Camille wins extended trades. With the wave where it is right now, all Lissandra has to do is sit back and let it push closer to her tower so it's safe to lane again. Let's see what happens. Lissandra walks up, so Lourlo goes in with his E for an extended trade. He runs her down until she's forced to E away, then goes in 2 seconds later when his own E comes back up again. Lourlo flashes and gets a kill. So this was so bad from Lissandra for so many reasons. Let's go back to how it started. First off, her lane positioning is terrible. You always want to be in the middle of the lane versus Camille and far away from the walls so she can't hookshot really fast like she does here. And it gives you a chance to dodge it. Then Lissandra uses her E so late, letting Lourlo auto her a lot. And the worst part is that all she had to do was sit back and wait for the minions. Now she loses a huge wave and the lane is completely thrown. Alright, we're not going to do a big recap here since we did a bunch of small ones throughout the video. But as you can see, Lourlo followed the game plan for Camille just one time and got a solo kill for it even after trolling all of the lane before that. It really goes to show how important game knowledge is in this game. That's going to be all for this video, thanks for watching.